Welcome back to part 3 of the 1945 Willis Restoration Series. Today we're going to be painting the Jeep. The last time we worked on the Jeep was 8 years ago. It was completely primered and ready for paint. However, the project got paused and the Jeep began to collect dust and rodents. So today we're going to start out by wiping everything down, scuffing up the primer, and then cleaning the body to prep for paint. Okay, I've got all the parts sanded, scuffed. I just need to wipe it down real quick with Xylene. We're going to be ready to put paint on this. Now, I am not a body person. I do not like body work. I want nothing to do with it. I can't stand standing. I can't stand the perfection that goes with it. Luckily, the Jeep is kind of forgiving, being that it's going to be that Lusterless Olive Drab. And ultimately, I want to be able to use the Jeep. And if it just gets a little scratch, I want to be able just to touch it up with some spray paint real quick. So the Jeep's body was pretty hammered, lots of rust holes in it, lots of dents. A lot of it got welded back together and kind of patched up. And so I feel like the perfection on it isn't really necessary. Again, I couldn't do it anyway if I wanted, and I'm not going to pay anybody to do it. So we're going to do the best we can and make it look as good as we can. So let's get to painting. So this is some of the dents and damage inside this World War II Jeep body. This is the kind of stuff that we're just going to live with. No point in fixing it. I guess if someone someday wanted to put a new tub on this thing, they could. But I'm kind of thinking about doing like a tintable rhino lining and doing olive drab on the inside, just to kind of hide a lot of that and to give it some more durability. A whole bunch of the accessory holes got welded in and bonded over while it was trying to get the body smoothed out. I mean, it was a lot worse than this, and so there's a ton of Bondo in there. And there's a bunch of weld repairs to cracks and stuff. So I'm using the 33070 Lusterless Olive Drab from Ron Fitzpatrick Jeep Parts in Oregon. This paint is fantastic and easy to use even for an amateur like me. We're mixing 5:1 with Xylene as the thinner, and I'm using the Harbor Freight HVLP paint gun. And even for a novice, I could tell this paint gun was a piece of junk, but in the end, it did the job. So as you can hear there, I run a very old oilless air compressor, and those things are just really loud and they run really hot. But if you watch the way this paint gun is putting down the paint, you can see every now and then it skips a spot, and I'm not really sure why there's an interruption in the flow of paint. I tried changing the settings, painting on a piece of cardboard before I actually started painting. Another thing that was difficult is that with a big HVLP gun like this, it's really hard to get in behind the dash and inside some of the toolboxes and stuff like that. So I'll have to go back with the cans of spray paint, and Ron Fitzpatrick sells the same exact color in an aerosol can just for that purpose. But once again, this was my first time ever using an HVLP type paint gun and painting a vehicle. So overall, I'm extremely happy with how the end result came out. Alright, well there we go. We got the first bit of paint on. This Jeep has been sitting in the garage for about 6 years, just ready for paint, all primed up and ready to go. And finally got paint, and it looks pretty good. I'm fairly happy with how it came out. It definitely got some dust in it from being out here in the outdoors. but with the amount of flaws that are in the body from just Bondo not fully done right, or dings and dents and patches and repairs, the paint looks just about as good as the actual metal itself. So I'm pretty happy with that. So this has got 3 full coats. I think that's what they recommend. So the body, tub, hood, fenders all have 3 coats. I did the back of the grill and the back of the windshield frame. So I'm gonna have to flip those around another weekend and put the final coat on those. I'm kinda really want to get those done because then I can store the body pieces on the body where they go, and they'll be out of the way and it'll be a lot easier working around the Jeep. So I'm a little bit bummed I didn't get that completely done today, but we'll get it soon. The fuel tank's all painted, and I have all of the felts and rubbers and stuff to install that, and I can start getting the fuel lines plumbed in. And we did a couple other little glove box doors, toolboxes, tranny holder. Tried to get the windshield frame with it hanging like this. I'm not really sure I got, well anyway, the windshield glass frame portion. Not really sure I got it very well, so I'll probably want to put a couple more coats on that when I flip the windshield frame around. Anyway, I'm pretty excited about the color, and now it's just a matter of this. I think this was a giant hurdle, and I'm really happy to get this hurdle out of the way because now I can start bolting on a lot more parts and start hooking things up and get a running Jeep sooner than later.
3 weeks later.
Today we're just doing some flip over the grill, flip over the windshield, and touching up some of the parts we missed when we did that. Like I said, I hate paint. I cannot stand bodywork, and you're seeing the extent of my skill is not very much. But anyway, so that paint's flashing off there. It's kind of a nice day today, 60 something degrees. That paint is flashing off pretty quickly, so I'm gonna go ahead and just mix up. Now this time, just doing some touch-up work, I'm mixing up about 5 ounces of paint, and that was actually the perfect amount to put a light coat on all that stuff. So I'm gonna mix up another batch here of 5 ounces. And we'll get our second coat on. We'll try to get 3 coats on all of that stuff.
Well, I just couldn't resist getting these hood blocks installed on the freshly painted hood. So I took the measurements from the original hood blocks and screwed down the little asphalt pads to the new wood blocks. So I was just extremely excited to get these hood blocks bolted on, and I think they're looking really good.
Alright, well thanks for watching while we got some paint going. And if you want to keep following along with the 45 Willy's MB restoration project, give me a like and a subscribe. And we're going to continue on putting parts back on this thing and get it running. Thanks for watching.